Welcome, little one. This is your first day. Your designation will be RP-01/138. We expect great things from you. You have been born into dangerous times. A sharp mind can be the key to survival. But as often as not, it will be your inherent physical traits that win the day. And in this regard, you will be superior to your more common brethren. For you are a commando, an elite unit, something truly special. Your weapons, your armor, and most importantly, your brothers.
All right, men. Listen up.
Delta Squad, form up.
Forming up, boss.
What up, my fellow Republic Commandos? It is your boy Trey of the Bat Channel, and we are live in the Batcave in a galaxy far, far away. As always, I have to bring in the best Sith sympathizer co-host I could ever ask for, the man who executed Order 66 himself with a smile, Super Bro Corey.
Initiated Order 66 with a smile, he says.
You know, Corey, every time I see Order 66 in anything Star Wars, I immediately think, this is Corey right here.
The time has come. Execute Order 66.
Well, since you said it, Trey, how
you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, man. I'm, I love Order 66. Order 66 is the best part of Star Wars. Trying to create my new empire.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, good for you there, Corey.
You didn't say your new empire.
Your new empire. Anakin, my allegiance is to the... Do you have the Order 66 music on again?
Well, hell yeah. The second you said it, I was like, all right, but fella, Order 66 it is.
I should have never
liked the Order 66.
You've been abusing it ever since I put it as background music one time.
If you're not with me, then you're my enemy.
Ah, hurtful. You turned him against me. Jesus. Well, Corey, I am very excited to talk about this really quick, short episode on The Mandalorian that we will somehow break down into 2 hours.
Only 2 hours, he said.
Only 2 hours. I say we go the extra mile and go for 2.5 hours.
I say 66 hours.
Oh, 66 hours to 66 minutes. No, you crazy. Okay. Anyways, I don't even know where to begin when it comes to Corey anymore. Guys, as always, you can follow us on our social media pages like TikTok, Instagram, Twitter at @the_Bat Channel, or you can follow us on Facebook at Holy Bat Channel. This is a wonderful way to get in touch with us. DM us. Let us know if there's something that we missed in tonight's breakdown, or if there's a topic you guys would like us to discuss or argue, as we've done in the past on Delta Squad streams. So just DM us. Let us know what's going on in your life. We'd like to hear from you guys. It's just a wonderful way to get in touch. As always, it helps us out so much when you smash that like, you share this video, you subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Corey, Bad Dance Thought says hashtag the Jedi were evil.
And I totally just switched it from the blue lightsaber to the red.
Oh my god. You are nuts, good sir. Corey, I say we waste no more time. Let's go ahead and bring in our Delta Squad members, Mr. Orc and Beans 14.
Hello.
Hello there.
Hello.
How's it going, buddy?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing good. Excited to join up with the Delta Squad forming up and talk about Mandalorian. How have you been?
I've been good. My wife always makes fun of us because she'll be like, "How long is your Delta Squad stream going to be?" I was like, probably like 2 hours. And she goes, "It has never been that short, so you're lying." So we somehow make this 33-minute episode into a 2-hour stream. That's ridiculous. We have a problem.
Well,
if you think about it,
It's because Corey gets on a stupid little tangent.
no. Actually, if you think about it, there's 4 of us in the Delta Squad. 30 minutes of viewing time is what we saw. 30 minutes of different takes. 30 minutes.
You really think we each get 30 minutes of screen time?
30 minutes of different thoughts. And then you got, so that's, Trey with 30 minutes, you get 30 minutes, I get 30 minutes, Savage gets 30 minutes, add on extra with all the amazing comments we get. That's a minimum 2+ hours.
No, our shows are usually an hour and 45 minutes of Super Bro Corey and 15 minutes of World War II history with Savage.
Speaking of Savage, let's go ahead.
Traitor!
That's a very traitorous move there.
Oh my god. Let's just go ahead and bring in Savage Bat, the man with the World War II references and Star Wars nerd.
Hit it. Yeah. Come on. Straight out of G-City. Y'all know me. I'm Batman, the motherfucking Dark Knight. I'm a playboy by day, vigilante by night. I'm Batman, the defender of Gotham. I dress up like a bat, cause it's motherfucking awesome. Batman's in the house, come and party in the Batcave. Yo, Alfred.
Yes, Master Wayne.
Bring some more Cavassier.
Yo, how's it going?
How's it going, brother?
All combined to that World War II. That was brilliant. Absolutely love it.
Oh my god, I love this group so much. We always have so much fun on the Delta Squad, busting each other's balls.
Right.
And, guys, how's your week been? It's been a bit of an eventful one for us DC fans, but
yeah, not too bad. Been having a nice relaxing week. Been having a nice relaxing time recently. taking a step back and just chilling out and enjoying things.
Good. That's good.
After many, many years of hardcore fighting in the battling for the Snyderverse, things seem to be a bit more relaxed now. Well, for me anyway.
I was like, hey. I love it.
Oh my gosh.
I love it.
Yeah, man, I hear you there. Is that Rebel Moon sounds more and more like it's going to be fire. I just heard news that Netflix has 2 versions now. Leave it to Zach, even on a streaming service, to have 2 different versions. There's going to be probably like a PG-13 version that's going to be for like a limited theatrical release, I'm guessing. And then there's going to be an extended rated R cut of both parts of Rebel Moon.
Cut.
An X cut?
Yeah. Pretty sure you get an X rating if you show a dick. I think that's how you get the X rating.
Well, you know, I mean, Zach does show some butt cheeks on a lot of his films, so who knows? It's possible. But I don't know about you guys. Rebel Moon just sounds like it's going to be. I keep hearing like Star Wars fans who are kind of disappointed with what's going on with Disney and how they're handling the IP. I keep hearing a lot of people say Rebel Moon is going to be this generation Star Wars, and if it blows up to that, you know, level of hype and craziness, I'm all for it. I love it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised.
You know,
would Delta Squad review Rebel Moon, or do we have to create a new? I wonder what, like, fraction group or something.
I don't know, man. But we'll have to discuss it. I mean, we'll find out what. I mean, once we see Rebel Moon, maybe we start a new stream. But nonetheless, Rebel Moon sounds fantastic. They're gonna make a video game apparently, so I mean, sign me up for every little piece of it. You know, guys, are you ready to talk about? This was an episode.
We are, but you forgot one big thing.
Oh, what's that? What's
you
the
forgot to welcome the chat in the house today.
I apologize, Corey. Orc and Beans got in my head about keeping a short stream for a short episode.
And I'm here to slow it right back the fuck down.
Now let's talk about
no sloth talking here.
That said, welcome to his house. Batman's thoughts. Obi-Wan gave up. Hashtag I stand with Anakin Skywalker. Hashtag let's Sith are the good guys. Beyond the Night, he says, hi guys. Joker's wild. Yo. Oracle's Clock Tower. Hiya fellas. Red Hooded Outlaw. What up, gang? The Butler, good morning. Hashtag restore the Snyderverse guy. Hello there.
Hello there.
The Batman who laughs. What up, Delta Squad? Bat Fanatic, form up. Wonder Wife is in his house. She's trying to become a regular member in the chat, which is nice to see. Wonder Wife.
Finally watching our show. It's because she's forced to. Stuck in a car driving for like 12 hours.
We got Teladius Plays in the house. He says, unlimited power. Trevor H, Delta Squad late again. I think I got everybody. If I didn't, I missed you. Sorry. Corey is right. But Batman catching up on the chat. Oh, Socks Bulletins. What up, Socks?
Hey, Socks.
Hello,
How'd your Socks, everyone? Socks is in the chat.
Yeah, we're saying, Sarah, that you got back-to-back streams going for you now.
I know, yeah.
Good on you, Sarah.
I'm very proud.
Very proud.
Now, guys, let's go ahead and let's break down The Foundling, episode 4 of season 3, chapter 20 of The Mandalorian. This was an episode that we were all kind of waiting for because of what we saw in the trailer. We knew we were going to get some more flashbacks with Grogu on the night of Order 66. And we were kind of just waiting to see who was going to be the person that rescued Grogu. It was a big theories that a lot of people were contemplating who would be the one to get Grogu out of there. Now we know obviously at some point Grogu gets captured by the Empire, but it went in a direction I did not expect, and it was kind of I'll say it. For me, it was a welcome surprise. But before we get to that scene, we'll definitely kind of go linear on this episode because it was pretty quick. It was the quickest and shortest episode yet on Star Wars The Mandalorian with 32 minutes, 33, I think, technically. But 32 minutes. And it was kind of, would you
But
guys
that's
say
not actual screen time, though, right? Don't they count the intro, like the music intro, and then the post-credit scenes a part of that 33 minutes?
I'm not sure, but I mean, there was no post-credit scene a part of this. But
No, I mean post-credit. I mean, not
you mean the credits?
credits,
Just a simple,
just
the
simple credits.
concept art credits. I mean, I don't know. I'll have to check, but nonetheless, did you guys feel like this was a bit of a filler episode without spoiling too much of our breakdown?
I felt like it was kind of a backstory episode for Grogu, but also they're really, I think, trying to build towards the inevitable, like, civil war. I feel like that's going to happen between the Mandalorians, between who wants to be on Bo-Katan's side and who wants to be on Mando's side. So I think that was building towards that this episode.
So you think it definitely created a little more? They're clearly setting up a conflict that's going to separate even the children of the Watch.
Well, because, you know,
Or unite them.
technically,
Yeah.
you know, Mando's supposed to lead because he's got the Darksaber, but
Ron.
everyone was really kind of behind Bo-Katan this episode. She, you know, led the group, and she got to sit by the fire.
Bo-Katan is the way.
She is the
So-
way.
so they're
even
gonna go-
though she doesn't know the way.
Is it based off of, do we go through tradition, or do we go off of who we truly believe should lead?
Intriguing. Savage, your thoughts, generic thoughts about the overall episode. I heard some people say this was such a short episode that it was basically just a filler episode, just to kind of create some time before we get into the craziness.
No, I really liked it, and God, if you're a veteran of Star Wars, short episodes is nothing new. With the original Clone Wars animated cartoon, they were like 5 minutes long, and then you had to wait all week to watch the next one. and then the Clone Wars and Rebels, they were quite short as well, so it didn't really bother me. And they crammed a lot of heavy special effects action stuff into it, which was great. I love myself a bit of storyline like Andor and all that, but I also love the pew pew. It's got to be lots of pew pews as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So Star Wars. This is literally in the title. Star Wars. You know, not Star standing around talking about shit.
I agree with Oracle said here. She says it was a filler episode, but it reminded me of the Clone Wars for some reason. Yeah, it definitely had kind of that, just like in between storylines. You still get a little bit of like goody information that's going to propel you to the next episode, but it was still like fun and entertaining that you didn't really care that there wasn't.
I preferred it to the last episode. I'll tell you that for nothing.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the last episode was definitely conflicting because it focused a little more on the politics that were going on post Empire for sure, and this kind of got back to really what Dave Filoni is great at in a way, and this definitely felt like Dave Filoni. Corey, your thoughts, generic thoughts about last Wednesday's episode?
Yeah, there are some elements that were really good. There are some elements I really liked. And there are some elements that I thought they lacked on. So, excited to kind of share my thoughts as we go along.
Yeah, agreed. Good to see you, Phil. Hope you're doing well, pal. One thing, I think someone asked how many episodes are left. There's 4 more episodes left. So this was the midway point, and I think that's what kind of got people off guard, was that they were expecting kind of like what Andor did, where they hit a midway point and it kind of, escalated the situation from there. But this, I don't know, this was kind of steady paced for this episode, which if you guys didn't know, Carl Weathers directed this one.
Yeah, I spotted that at the end.
Yeah.
Me and my bro watched it.
Yeah, right. And when you saw it, I was like, wow, I didn't realize he directed, but it was a great, I thought it was a good episode in terms of cinematography and just, storytelling in a sense that like there was nothing that was like, oh, that editing was bad, or, like, oh, that was kind of weird. That looked weird. Did you have anything? I know, Oracle, you pay attention to this quite often. Did you have anything like that?
I didn't notice anything this time.
Okay, cool. Well, that's good to know. See?
Yeah, usually I'm pretty particular. I
That's
can see
right.
that shit, but
What's up, Retro Nerd Girl? Guys, if you haven't checked out Retro Nerd Girl's channel, she's starting to do some Mandalorian stuff as well. She always has like a great stream about action heroes that some of you may have never heard of, from like the 50s, 60s, 70s era. With those early sci-fi and action films. I highly recommend you check out her channel. Retro is one of our faves. She's been on the channel before, but she says Din does not want to lead. He wants to serve a purpose.
I agree. And I really haven't got high hopes for him surviving either. I think he'd most likely be killed.
I hope so.
Interesting theories that we'll definitely go into. And I agree with you, Retro. I don't think he has any aspirations to, to lead or to be in charge of the Mandalorians, which is why he didn't really care when he received the Darksaber. He was like immediately like, here, you have it. And, Bo-Katan was like, she understands the meaning of that. She's like, I have to, there's a purpose, there's a certain weight that comes with that Darksaber that you have to earn, and he was kind of just like, well, it means leadership. I don't want it, which is interesting.
Hand over that Darksaber, big fellow.
Hand over that Darksaber. Well, guys, are you ready to go ahead and get into the breakdown of the episode titled The Foundling? And the Foundling was kind of, in a way, meant more than just Grogu. It was meant for all the Mandalorian foundlings. Guys, I gotta be honest, this opening scene, it really gave me like 300 vibes. When the soldier Spartans are training in the sand, it's different generations kind of trying to help each other with the different styles and tactics of fighting. It was just kind of cool to see basically how they handled these different tiers of training with everyone, really. Was there anything you guys noticed in this particular scene, Orc and Beans?
I feel like some of the training felt kind of useless to me. Like, I don't know what kind of training you're going to get by just shooting your rocket into the water. I wish they would have had maybe targets out in the water so that it was like we got a sense of like, oh, they're aiming for this location and that's why they're shooting there or whatever. But I thought the little fighting scenes were really cool. I like Grogu's little fighting scene. I love the part where Bo-Katan's like, he doesn't even know how to fire his rockets, and you're letting him do this. And so I thought it was a cool scene, but some parts of it, I was just like, that's... Like, they may understand why they're shooting into the water, but as a viewer that's never seen this before, this training, why are they just shooting into the water?
Yeah, I mean, I heard some different theories because I wondered that myself. It was like, why are we just shooting in the water? And
because there's a big ass alligator in there.
Well, I've heard that too. Yeah,
that's what I was thinking too. It's like maybe they were just trying to it was a way to practice shooting their aiming.
Apparently, they should have been aiming at the sky.
Well, we'll actually get into that because I feel like there's something deeper going on with all that for sure. Like the fact that they got attacked by another creature seems, and it seems
it's because they don't belong.
They don't belong. Get off my planet.
They need to go back to their own planet. And I think that's where they're headed.
Maybe Mandalorians are cursed wherever they go as long as they don't return home. That's an interesting thought. Savage Bat, your general thoughts about the opening sequence?
Yeah, I really liked it. Particularly something that's not really been mentioned with the Mandalorians before is the judge or referee. The guy in the sort of reddish armor that was just monitoring what people were doing, much like a karate master, getting your, upgrading your belt in martial arts. I thought that was quite interesting that there was actually a job for that, to be a judge of training and things like that.
Yeah,
they've never really touched on that before. But yeah, that whole scene was really cool. I was impressed with it.
I agree. Super Bro Corey, your thoughts?
Yeah, I loved the scene too. It reminded me of 300 for sure. It was cool kind of watching to see what they do for training. I saw no issues with them shooting into the water. You know, that's something that I would have been doing too as well. Just like, hey, yo, shoot it over there, you know, and different things like that. And kind of, you know, more function testing, shooting it away from people before we actually start, you know, hitting it with targets and stuff, trying to get the feel and vibes and the recoil of the actual rockets as they're being shot, and just kind of getting familiar with the overall system as a whole. So I didn't have an issue with it. It was cool to see the judge, absolutely, as well. And it was kind of cool seeing people train their you know, their foundlings, their kids. Of course, Grogu's ass is trying to eat some things in the show, some weird little hermit crab looking rock things, and he's just, Grogu's not focused.
Well, actually, I think if anything, we're constantly seeing that Grogu has a connection with creatures in the living force, the way he was able to communicate with the Rancor, some of the other creatures that we've seen throughout Star Wars. Maybe they're leading up to something, maybe with him being able to tame
and
the
also,
mythosaur.
He knew that they were creatures, where Mando walks over and says, put the rock down.
Yeah.
Like, he thought it was a rock, but Grogu knows that they were all little creatures.
Restore the Snyderverse guy's got a good point. Paintball darts needs to be a
100%.
thing. Me and my brother was actually saying it at the time we was watching it. I wonder how they can safely make a toy out of that. Yeah, so kids can shoot each other with little paintballs.
Right.
Yeah.
Start
Do you know
doing
what I mean?
the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Dart battles.
Get the children hooked early on dart practice. You know.
There you go. Oh yeah.
You know what Disney's like.
Right. Thank you so much, Red Hooded. Listen to the man. He is the outlaw. Remember to hit that like, gain, and share. Yes, get all your friends in the chat, because the more people we have in the discussion, the more fun we have. One thing I will say, and I think you're right, Orca, the fact that Mando, Din Djarin kind of came over and was like, hey, like, stop playing with the rocks, and clearly they were creatures. Just once again, like, showing his connection with those living creatures, even with the space whales, you know, that we saw in I think episode 2 or 3. But I think, if anything, it's kind of interesting to see. I think those a thought came into my mind once Corey pulled up the slide again. Those rock crab things, Savage, you watch Star Wars Rebels, right?
Yeah.
Do they kind of look like those crab things from Star Wars Rebels? I think you see them in like season 4. Yeah,
they're a little bit like that. I'm not sure if they're the same thing though. But very similar to the things on that ice planet that exist. You know, the spider things.
Oh, yeah.
They're all the way through, but they're really big. But I don't know. Really, honestly, don't know about that.
Okay, yeah. It was when I saw him, I was kind of like, I feel like I've seen those before. But Orkin Beans, not only is he paneling up, you know, and doing stuff, he's also doing super chats with that $5 saying, "I know I'm going to let you read your own super chat."
Like and share to see more of this hot guy.
In the top right. Corey, switch around the panel so he's no longer in the top right. Put yourself in there, Corey. There you go.
They know who it is. And maybe I am talking about Corey.
Maybe so. Corey, I think we know which one we got to play for Orc and Beans here, you know.
Yes, I think we do.
I need to make a surreal super chat for Orc.
No. You don't need
Well, you know what, Trey? I'm going to let you pick this one.
Can I take this back?
No, it's ours now.
No refunds.
Let's do this one.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
Maybe I do.
Maybe.
The dark side, Trey. Look at his damn background.
Yep. Stormtrooper.
Whoa! And you're giving me crap about being a Sith?
Well, yeah.
Oh, it's because you fear me.
No.
I'm talking about Cody.
What did you guys think about? Clearly, we've heard Jon Favreau talk about Grogu's been training with Luke Skywalker for 2 years, and it seemed like when Mando was like, "Here, like let's do this together," and he's telling the other foundling, which I think his name is, he's a Vizsla. I think it's Ragnar Vizsla, I think is his name. The little boy, and he's kind of like, oh, why is he not wearing a helmet? And it's because Grogu can't, speak the creed yet, so therefore he doesn't earn the helmet. But in the meantime, he can still at least train and learn the ways of the Mandalorian until he's ready to speak.
He's never going to be able to speak it, though.
No, well, this I was just about to get to. This is got me thinking that maybe they're going to make a massive deal out of Grogu's starting to speak. That's going to be a massive part of the show. Because he's going to be all this time. It's sort of a bit of a mystery about what he's thinking and stuff. They show the flashbacks and stuff, but maybe that will change the dynamic of the show totally.
So frustrated with him. It's going to be like, way this is the way. Way this is the way. Way this is.
Yeah.
He used to speak in riddles.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you have. I know it would be kind of weird to hear something that looked like Yoda not speak like Yoda. Feel like that should just be a generic trait that they all just speak.
Well, doesn't the one from Tales of the Jedi talk normally?
Yeah.
She does. You're right.
Wasn't
she
it a thing that Yoda
normally.
just does it because he's a fucking weirdo?
Well, I think 900 years old as well. I think it's
Halfway
to
through,
do
he's
with-
like, you know what? I'm gonna change it up. Just
Yeah.
It's
switch
like,
my
I've been
words
speaking
around.
the same way for the last 500 years.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what? I'm gonna have dyslexia.
Just gonna mess with people. But I think you're right, Savage. I think they're setting up for a big moment.
That's gonna be a thing.
Yeah. It'll be curious to see what his first words are. Hopefully, it's just not something as simple as "dad," or "daddy," "daddy Din."
Yeah.
Batan says, "So Trey, you think everyone from Yoda's species talks exactly the same?" No, I don't. But I mean, we're so used to seeing it that I almost feel like that's what comes to be expected.
With wisdom comes weirdness. Wonder why.
With wisdom comes weirdness. Yes, absolutely. Facts. So we get this little battle, this little shootout between Ragnar and Grogu kind of doesn't really do anything. He keeps getting hit 3 shots each, and he's down 2. Hasn't fired his thing yet. What do you think's going through his mind? Why do you think he held back and he had to wait for Din Djarin to say, "Hey, it's okay. Show him what you got"?
I think it was more of like, kind of just like he doesn't know like how much like Mando wants him to show off that he's been trained by Jedi, and I think it was just more of a cautiousness. And then once he got that, go ahead, let it rip. And then he's like, all right, cool. And then he just went at him. And I think it was kind of just like he wanted that, approval maybe of Mando. Because I don't think Mando truly knows what he can do. I don't think he's really seen what Grogu can do. And so it might have also been, a thing for Mando to see for the first time.
Yeah. I can see where you say that. Yeah, where it just, Din Djarin is not even, I mean, he hasn't been around him for those 2 years, right? So he's still kind of learning himself of
and he
everything.
Didn't see him when
he saw him fight the horned monster in season 1 though.
Yeah, I think he's just saw him pick him up through the force, right?
The force.
Yeah.
But now he's had some training that he hasn't seen, and when Mando gets captured by that thing and Grogu defeats that one monster, he didn't see that happen.
No,
and so
also you got to factor into the fact, like we saw in Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Tales of the Jedi Ahsoka, the instant you use the Force, you're on the Empire's radar. Maybe Grogu didn't know, like, are the Mandalorians all right? You know, they do happen to look like the clone troopers that killed the Jedi in Order 66. Like, you know, they got the same, you know, shaped helmets and body armor and all that. Maybe he was just thinking, oh, I don't know, is this okay to do it? You know, you know.
Yeah. How about you, Super Bro?
Say the question again, bud.
Essentially, why do you think Grogu was holding back until Din Djarin had to kind of give him the pep talk of like, go ahead, it's okay?
This is a kind of a different way of teaching. So he's probably kind of, this is not the Jedi way per se. So maybe he's kind of like trying to figure it all out. Like this is what we're doing or something like that. So maybe something along those lines. I think he's also a little bit. He's not like revealing himself completely yet. So obviously he knows a little bit more than with what has happened. How the Jedis were betrayed, obviously. So there was a time period where people kind of kept those powers kind of a secret because he's seen how people have tried to use them. So maybe he's a little cautious in that sense as well.
Yeah, I think you guys all kind of hit like a piece of it for sure. I think you guys brought up some good points where I think it could be a little bit of I think Oracle used the words PTSD, because they do kind of look like clone troopers for the last, almost 20 years. Well, actually, 20 years. He's had to kind of hide who he truly is, from the Empire. So it's probably still kind of he's probably very cautious of when he's supposed to use his powers. And if there's one person he does trust, it's going to be Din, so if he tells him it's okay, then he's going to show it. But I'm not sure. I know Batan was asking, how do the rules go? That his opponent was only allowed to shoot once.
That.
Yeah, I don't know, but does it matter? Like Grogu was gonna win, Once Grogu was like, "Okay, I'll do it," figures. But it was a great scene to just see.
You know what? Oh my God! I just literally thought of something just now. It's about what's about to happen. Maybe the reason we've kind of hit on it. Maybe the reason that Grogu wasn't fighting right away was because he was calling in that big dinosaur to come snoop that guy. He's like, oh yeah, you guys want to see something? Okay, hold up a second.
Oh my God, no.
Yep, I'm going to get this kid all snatched up. I don't even need to use paintballs. Using the Force. Come on, Dragon Thing.
Well.
Grogu's a Sith.
Is that Sarah, your dog, Wonder Wife, if you're still in the chat, your dog won't stop snoring. She just keeps going. Oh my gosh. But I mean, very interesting points for sure. So obviously the kid, the other foundling of House Vizsla, is obviously disappointed. He disappointed his father that he didn't win, and clearly let this new kid on the block beat him. But all of a sudden comes this crazy bird-like creature swooping down and snatching the kid up and taking it back to its lair. And of course, the Mandalorians go after him, trying to see if they can rescue the child. But their jetpacks lose fuel. But Bo-Katan is able to track the creature through her ship and figure out where its lair is. They don't fire upon the bird, obviously, because they didn't want to hurt the kid at all. But it kind of becomes this quest. It kind of felt like this. I don't. What are you gonna say, Super Bro?
Look, this is insane. We are onto something. Retro Nerd Girl just said, "I'm glad Bo told him to take it easy on Ragnar because he might have force choked him."
That's exactly what me and my brother said.
I
thought that's what's going to happen, and everyone was going to go, whoa, calm down. It's just practice. And everyone would be a little bit scared of him,
I didn't get that sense, man. You guys are really just waiting for Grogu to turn to the dark, aren't you?
I thought exactly the same thing. Bro. I thought that's what he was going to do, just kind of like...
With Grogu talking to these monsters and creatures, big fella, he called that thing in.
I don't
like,
think
yeah,
he called that
he
thing
called
in.
it in.
Clearly, because
called it in.
Grogu wasn't even there when the turtle croc attacked in the first episode.
He was coming though. They were coming. There's like, yeah.
Yeah, but hey, Corey might have a point because Mando even says that thing came from a really far way, out of its normal range.
Yeah, he was just like, come this way.
I get the sense that it's more of. I feel like it's that. So we'll bring that up because they actually mentioned that because Mando does say, as Orc and Beans mentioned, that the lair was pretty far away. You know, it kind of went out of its way to snatch the kid up. Do you guys? I think it has something to do with maybe the Mandalorians are cursed in a way. You know, they're superstitious. They do believe in curses. Corey's shaking his head because he just wants to believe Grogu's evil and you know, wants all the Mandos to be gone. Orc and Beans, your thoughts?
No, I don't want the Mandos to be gone.
I think they need to go back to their home planet. I kind of feel the same way that they don't belong on that planet. They belong home. And I think that they're gonna eventually lead one of them, either Din or Bo, are gonna lead them back to their home planet, and then they're gonna fix it all together. Whoever ends up leading at the end, or Grogu, will lead them back.
Corey's saying Bat-Dan,
Just because Bat Dan agrees with Corey, that doesn't mean anything.
Oh, hold up a second. Don't worry, Bat-Dan. I'll take care of Orc.
The Force is not strong with you.
Orc can't talk right now, see? I'm choking him. I'll let it off. Still counts.
You feeling good about yourself right now?
Because you have director powers.
Right, yeah.
I'm muting me. I cannot mute myself.
Oh my god. See, this is the problem when I let Corey, you're going to make this a 2-hour stream again. You got to stop.
Yeah, we're 42 minutes in already.
Good freaking grief. So, obviously, Sin Havoc, good to see you, bro. Hope you're doing well.
Scene.
What's that?
We're still on the first scene, and we're 42 minutes in.
So, obviously, you know, they put out basically a rescue team that is basically House Vizsla. Bo-Katan is leading it. She's in charge of the party. And Din Djarin is also going to tag along. But Grogu is staying back with the Armorer, and the Armorer uses as an opportunity to, now that he's kind of officially becoming a foundling of the Mandalorians, to kind of, I guess you could say, initiate him and through the proper ways of the Mandalore, and actually begins creating him something made out of Beskar steel. And she's also kind of giving him the kind of the trainings, the lessons of the Mandalorian. And in this whole aspect, talking about metal and using metaphors about how it forges who a Mandalorian is through trials, making them the person they are today. Through the sparks and the hammering, you can tell that Grogu is starting to have it's starting to trigger a memory. And of course it triggers a memory from Order 66. And it's a kind of a frightening. Corey, you are failing right now on slides. Jesus. Pay attention. Anyways, Order 66. Guys, let's talk about this. This is a scene that we were all waiting for. What was your thoughts about finally meeting the person that rescues Grogu?
Well, it doesn't Din have the same kind of experience where he's talking to the Armorer and she's making some metal, and then he has a flashback to when he was saved?
Yeah, I think I think it was a similar thing, so where
it kind of shows the connection between him and Grogu, that they kind of had the same experience when having armor made, that they think about this kind of horrific event that they both had, Din with his planet being basically taken over, and then Grogu with the temple being attacked. And so I was glad to get to see a little bit more of kind of what Grogu's experience was. I'm curious as if Grogu was already going to get moved because they kind of already had like that plan to get him out of there came together pretty quickly. So I wonder if maybe he was already leaving the temple to go do something, or they were going to, transport him somewhere, and it just happened to be on the same day. So I would like to know a little more about that. I don't think we will see that. But yeah, and when we finally see the guy that saves Grogu, when he picks up that blue lightsaber and he starts double fisting it and just starts going ham, like that was awesome to me. I'm a big fan of the double lightsaber. I always thought that was Darth Maul is my favorite character. So when he has the two lightsabers, attached to that was my favorite style. But my second one is
Darth Maul's your favorite character?
Darth Maul is my favorite character. I have his book somewhere over here. But my second favorite is the two lightsabers. And so when he started doing that, and his facial expressions are so great. That actor's awesome. I feel bad for him for getting shit on for being Jar Jar Binks.
Ahmed Best.
Yeah, I thought he was great, and I thought his facial expressions were awesome during that fight. And so I just thought it was super cool. And then I got kind of a mini space battle because they're flying around shooting at him and stuff. And I thought the using the train tunnel was a smart move. And then we got to see the Naboo ship again, which I thought was immediately I was like, oh, I know that ship.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was like phenomenal. Like when the doors open and you see who this other Jedi, Kelleran Beck, it's Ahmed Best, who voiced Jar Jar Binks. I immediately got excited. I didn't think like, oh my God, I don't know why Ahmed Best got so much crap. Maybe it was because I was a kid and I watched the first, episode 1, Phantom Menace. So Jar Jar Binks was kind of the lovable, silly, childlike character that kids could like laugh at, but his character didn't bug me growing up, so I never had that problem with Ahmed Best. So I wish people would take it easy on Ahmed Best because it was wonderful to see him. I was super excited to see, and the cool part is I don't know if you guys knew this, Kelleran Beck, Jedi Master Kelleran Beck, is actually it's not a, how do I put this? This character didn't just come out of nowhere. He's been in other Star Wars things. And now technically it wasn't Star Wars canon at the time. Ahmed Best did this thing on Disney called like the Jedi Temple TV show, where it was basically like a, it was kind of like, what are they called? The Ninja Warrior. Ninja Warrior, thank you. Like, whereas like Ninja Warrior, but for kids. And it was like, they dressed up like Jedis and they had to do Jedi training. So it was kind of cool to see Ahmed Best, who was the host of that show, playing a Jedi Master called Kelleran Beck, to be here in this as that character. So now he is canon. He is in Star Wars lore. But yeah, it was great to see him. Savage Bat, what was your thoughts about the whole Order 66 flashback?
Yeah, really good to see Coruscant again. Obviously, Coruscant's a great part of Star Wars, and obviously Order 66. But most of all, I'm really, really happy that Ahmed Best got sort of a bit of justice. Really, now he's a Jedi Knight in the canon of Star Wars. I mean, that's pretty awesome after the way he was treated by some fans. I'm not, a lot of actors have had grief over the years. Jake Lloyd, for instance.
Yeah, Jake Lloyd.
Like going on the internet and directly attacking the actors, and at Comic-Cons, I think he was saying, people were saying you ruined my childhood and all that. That's bang out of order. But yeah, I don't think though that characters should be, give free range. Just no one can criticize them. But attacking the actor's definitely not right. And I felt really bad for him, because he didn't, it wasn't his fault that Jar Jar kind of sucked a little bit. It was just that was just the way it was. And I'm glad he's got his little bit of justice, and I felt felt good for him.
Absolutely, yeah. And it was also cool to see the voice of Tamura Morrison, who did all the clones, and obviously Boba Fett, Jango Fett, kind of return for just a few little lines he had with the clones. When I heard his voice, I was like, yep, they got him back for that. Yeah. Skywalker the Jedi, my man, coming in with that $5 super chat. Guys, make sure you guys check out Skywalker the Jedi's channel. He's doing some great streams. The Night Shift with Mikey Sutton, Scooper Supreme, and the creator of the new TV series that is coming called Dreamwalker. I highly recommend that you check out his channel. Just absolute a blast over there. And he's doing some crazy stuff in the DC world as well. But he says, not caught up, so I can't stay, but much to the Bat channel, you guys do amazing work, and I'm so glad to be fighting with you. Big things coming. Who knows? I know what you're talking about. I hear you. I like it. Corey, I think I'll take care of this one. I know this will be good.
This is where the fun begins.
This is where the fun begins, indeed.
Hey. But yeah, man. Super Bro Corey, your thoughts about the Order 66 flashback scene?
All right, so I'm a huge Order 66 fan. I love it. I love the flashbacks. I felt like this was a little bit of a lackluster Order 66 from the standpoint of Grogu. It would have been interesting to see maybe who was kind of like a close mentor of him. Was it, Jar Jar's character, or the guy who played Jar Jar, Ahmed Best? Yeah. Well, is that why he was looking for him? It would have been nice to see, like, a little bit, if they're going to do, Grogu can't speak, obviously. So if we're going to get an Order 66 flashback, let's get a little bit more detail of, the right before the fall. Let's see, some good things, and then kind of flash into the, into the Order 66 type thing.
You want to see who actually was his main master.
Yeah. That's what I was kind of looking for, because, just seeing the, Jedis die, it doesn't really mean anything to you unless, that was Grogu's dude, or that was Grogu's best friend, the girl who was protecting Grogu at the beginning, what was her connection with Grogu, it was just Jedi's dying, which, hey, that's Order 66. So would have liked to seen a little bit more connection for Grogu, to see oh man, that's Grogu's really good friend, or those different types of, moments. Now, the only part that saved it for me for Order 66 was Jar Jar Binks' character showing up to save the day. That was freaking awesome. Savage said, he's gotten a lot of hate over the years. I can't help to laugh when I hear people say like what he said about how he ruined my childhood over a character. It's just wild to think about. It's okay to not like certain people and characters, but there's no way that Jar Jar
attacking people directly, that's a different story.
Yes, there's no way that Jar Jar ruined Star Wars so much that it ruined your childhood. That's just a ridiculous thing to say to somebody. So the fact that this man had, contemplated suicide and everything like that along those lines, because of how horrible the fans were treated him, made this Order 66 cool in the sense it seemed very redemption for his character or for him as a human being. It's like, hey, because I completely agree with what Orc was saying earlier. Those were, those were Naboo ships and everything like that. And Naboo Cinder Guards and everything along those lines, that most likely it was our homie Jar Jar who kind of helped save Grogu in that sense. And it was cool and I think that will probably be revealed at some point, maybe a little bit more in depth, but it was cool to see that, Jar Jar's human character was the one who helped get him to that ship. So curious to see how that plays out more. I hope we see more of his character. Did we even get a Jedi name for his character?
Yeah, Kelleran Beck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, Kelleran Beck was the Jedi Master, and like you said, Corey, it was wonderful to see, in a way, like Ahmed Best get like a bit of redemption story, and the fact that he was this badass Jedi Master that rescues Grogu. I feel like there's one thing we haven't really kind of focused too much on, and that's we've seen multiple flashbacks now of the Night of Order 66 when it comes to Grogu, and there's multiple different Jedis that are guarding him with their lives. And it seems to me, and it could simply be because Grogu is part of a rare alien species that no one really knows anything about, but it seems like they were going an extra mile to protect him. And it makes me wonder what else is going on there, especially with the fact that they had a plan set up that if anything were to happen, that this guy would have a Naboo ship ready to go with these Naboo senator guards. And it makes me wonder, did Jar Jar Binks, did he know about Grogu? Like, what's going on here? I hope they explain that. I hope they just don't leave this be, because there's Star Wars fans who are picking that apart because they recognize things, they understand what that is. So when you have a Naboo ship that was used in Attack of the Clones with Padme and Anakin, it seems like, okay, who knows about Grogu, and why did they go to the extra lengths to help him escape from all this? Do you guys have any theories on it?
Let me just say this. If they don't go back to the fact that Jar Jar knew about this, or knew about Grogu, or explain more detail in that, this entire series was a fail. The entire episode was a fail. No, I'm being a little harsh right now, but this was a filler episode we can all agree on. But what a missed opportunity. This could have been, probably a 45-minute show, 50-minute show. They could have gone into more detail about that.
I think they will, because I think that the Naboo guards and the fact that it was a Naboo ship was intentionally to make you realise that, because it was blatantly obvious, because their deluxe ships are all chrome, aren't they? And obviously the guards you recognise straight away. Even the noise of their guns makes a different noise. It's from the, in episode 1 where they're having the gun battle to take over the throne room. They was using those guns as well, and it was very, very focused on the fact that they was from Naboo. So I'm sure there'll be a second part to that. Yeah.
Orc, do you have any theories?
Yeah, I mean, something has to be special about Grogu. Think about how many Jedi he had just around just him.
Yeah.
He had 4 of them. They are already planning on moving him. So it might have been something where Jar Jar, because he's a senator, might have, had his ear to the ground and knew something might go down. So he, sent word to the temple and was like, get Grogu out of there. There's going to be a ship at this location. Get him out of there. So I'm hoping to find out that maybe there's some sort of special trait to Grogu, and that's why he's so important to the Jedi. I'm not sure.
Whoa!
Yes.
Just kind of thinking, kind of going back to our original conversation that Grogu has this connection with species and animals and stuff like that. Maybe there's an additional connection that he had with Jar Jar Binks or something like that, where he told him what was going on, something.
There's many reasons. Jar Jar was very close to Anakin and Padme, and also Jar Jar is from Naboo, and so is the Emperor. The Emperor is from Naboo, so maybe it was something to do with that. A little early warning from Jar Jar.
Or actually, this is making me wonder, a little theory that just popped up. What if the Emperor sent in, or leaked some information to the Jedi so that they could get Grogu out, because the clones would have been too focused on killing all the Jedis that Grogu could have been collateral damage,
Maybe. And
I don't know.
He did want him for the experiments.
Yeah.
All I'm going to say is, at the end of the series, Grogu's going to be riding that mythosaur because he's got the connection with the animals. He's going to be decked out in his Mandalorian gear, riding along with his fucking Darksaber.
Oh,
laugh now, Trey.
He's not kidding.
I can't wait for you guys to have to bow down to me. I can already see the title. Mandalorian series end. Orc and Beans was right.
You know what? Orc and Beans. I will say it live right now. If you are completely right, where Grogu is decked out in a Mandalorian armor and helmet, black saber, he's riding the mythosaur, I will make a thumbnail with your giant face on it that says Orc and Beans was right.
By the end of this season, though, is what he said.
Oh, and he did say by the end of the season. But you know what? I will, if it happens 3 seasons from now.
No.
I said series end. I just said series. Play
Series
back.
end.
I said series end because the title of the episode is going to be Mandalorian series end. Orc and Beans was right. He also gets the Bat Channel for a week.
I think, okay, so what if you're wrong?
Then I was wrong.
Well, what do we get?
Yeah, what do I get? Do I get to take over?
Free content from me.
Free content.
Smith is the way.
You know what? I'll take it. You got a smoker now. I'll take a brisket,
Yeah, come on.
Full
you guys should
brisket
come down
just
for the 4th of July, by the way.
Hey.
I'm trying to get Kylie to come out.
Hey.
My parents are going to be here. 4th of July, come on down.
Don't tease me with a good time, big fella.
I'm not teasing.
Well, of course, we know that Grogu escapes with this Jedi Master. We don't know what happens to him afterwards. So hopefully that is explained at a later time. But we go back to this mission to rescue the foundling, the Mandalorian foundling of House Vizsla. And they've made their way, and they've had to stop their ship a little bit of ways and hike the way there so that they don't alert the creature to their presence. We get this cool rock. Well, that's before. After, I mean, that's after. But we do get this fire scene, around the camp with, they're handing out rations to all the Mandalorians. And you can tell this is kind of the inexperience of Bo-Katan, where she's kind of like goes to Din Djarin, like, how do I eat? If you're not allowed to take off your helmet, and he kind of has to explain to her, it's just like, well, everyone kind of goes off to their own place where no one can see them, and they eat that way. But of course, because she's the head of the party, as declared by Paz Vizsla, the father of the foundling that was captured by that creature, he says because she's the head of the party, she gets to stay. Oh, that's right. You're right, Wonder Wife. Sorry. That she gets to stay by the fire. Kind of that idea. It's kind of that typical, the alpha, of the group. They get kind of the special benefits of eating more, and stuff like that. Here, she gets to stay by the fire. So kind of a cool sequence there. Guys, what did you think about that scene? The fact that we kind of talked about in the last episode that when, the armorer declares Bo-Katan as Mandalorian again, Paz Vizsla was kind of the ones that didn't shake their hands, didn't applaud them for being a part of their family, but now he's kind of treating them as if they are part of the Mandalorian way. What's your thoughts that he's so quick to turn that way? Or do you think he has another angle? Orc.
Well, it's his kid that they're trying to rescue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Boom.
Why wouldn't he be the head of the party, though?
Because she is the one that knows how to climb up the rocks, which, by the way, she talks about like, oh, we need to go in stealthy. And I think they even give them like special weapons or whatever. If you look at that picture you guys have up, he brings a fucking machine gun. Like this backpack machine gun for a stealth mission. But no, I think it was just maybe it's also a factor of like because it's his kid, they don't want him leading the party because he's gonna have like a bias, and he's got more at stake, and maybe he can't think as clearly, which he shows by just jumping right on in and starts yelling for the kid. And because she had said that she knows how to climb up the rocks, and so, and it might have also been kind of like, hey, let's test her out, let's see how she does.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah, it was kind of interesting. I thought a little bit of the same thing, like how would the creature not even hear, like they're clunking around with their grappling guns. So it didn't seem that stealthy, but I don't know.
It did hear them. That's
eventually we got into the nest, right?
I thought it was good that Vizsla's and Din's beef was squashed because he saved his son. They both give each other that look like, yeah, you're all right, after having a bit of a row over the Darksaber and, all that clan stuff, with Paz Vizsla's clan and, Mandalorian's a bit of a, Clint Eastwood type lonely warrior character. So it seems like, they've fights over and they've built a proper little bit of a friendship going, which is good. Yeah.
Super Bro, your thoughts?
Batman has a question for you, Trey.
Not gonna answer it.
Of course he had the helmet on.
Those types of questions, drop that super chat.
The question is, which helmet?
This is the way.
Good God. Moving on. So we did get. I did forget to say, Jesus, the armorer did give Grogu that nice, cool little armor plate that has the sigil of his father, Din Djarin, with the mud horn. I thought that was dope as hell. It's good to see him getting some Beskar on, as Orc Bean seems to be more and more correct as time goes on. But Corey, go ahead and go to the next slide, please. Okay, so we get this really cool scene with this creature. Obviously, Paz Vizsla, as Orc and Beans mentioned, he kind of dropped the ball, stopped being stealthy, started searching for his son through the nest, and of course, he found these two hatchling creatures of the little bird thing that were starting to try to cause problems. I gotta say, one thing that I loved about this particular scene was the kind of what made Jurassic Park so great was Jurassic Park really utilized the CGI and animatronics. Here you could see with the flying scenes there was the CGI, but then when the creature was hacking up the boy so that the little hatchling creatures could eat them, it was an animation. It was an animatronic. And I thought that was like so freaking cool because it just gives it that little bit of realism to it. That I think it's just easier on the eye to kind of go like, oh my God, there it is. Especially for the actors. This scene kind of goes crazy. What did you think just in terms of action sequence and their tactics on trying to wrangle this thing in? Because obviously Paz Vizsla gets captured now. The boy is within the creature's claws as it's flying away. And now the Mandalorians are tracking this thing down on their jetpacks, trying to wrangle this thing in.
I thought it was awesome. There's kind of like this aspect of it's on a timer because now they know that they can run out of fuel chasing this thing. And so it kind of adds that like extra drama to it because they're like, crap, we got to do this before our jetpacks run out. And it kind of shows the fearlessness of Bo-Katan because she just straight up goes to it and just starts stabbing the damn thing. And then it shows that like she has this fearlessness where she's stabbing it in the eye, but then you have the like dad mode engaged from Din when he is the one that flies down and saves the kid. So it kind of just shows even more of where their priorities are and how they handle situations. Bo was more of, I felt like, trying to take this thing down where Din was trying to save the kid. And I think it shows more of that divide, and it's going to be more of what leader do you want? Do you want the more aggressive, ruthless one in Bo, or do you want the more save everyone, leave no one behind kind of person? And so I think it was just another example of the differences that the two have.
I really liked that. That was like a great like depiction of like what they were trying to show there. Of like, she's clearly going after the creature. That's her mission. Take that thing down, while he's trying to obviously rescue the kid, which definitely shows the difference between the two. Her brutality versus his need to protect. That's a wonderful point. Good catch there, Orc. Savage, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought it was great, and the minigun thing that was a bit funny. Me and my brother again pointed that out. Why the hell is he going up the mountain with a minigun? Do you know any idea how heavy those things are? But no, it was great, and the problem with the Mandalorians since they became a thing is infighting amongst them, and they haven't quite nailed getting along as a warrior race, which is, this is where we've got to find the balance. Bo-Katan, obviously, she's got the skill. I think Retro Nerd Girl was saying, but yeah, it's like Retro Nerd Girl. So it's an ongoing problem that they've got, that because they're all beefed up and ready to fight. They end up fighting each other. And this is where the wars come with the houses and things like that. And it's they need a big change. And like we're saying, the original Mandalorian with the Darksaber was a Mandalorian and a Jedi. So the Grogu thing again makes total sense. That's yeah. I'm not sure if that's what's going to happen, but it does make sense. And it's all about how are they going to compromise, between the old ways and the new ways, and have peace, really, because there's not many of them left. If then just stop fighting each other and start teaming up more, and that's obviously where this is leading.
So Corey, we'll go ahead and address the super chat from the one and only Batman Slots, who also has a great YouTube channel, where I promise he doesn't talk about these types of things that he's asking about on super chat. Please subscribe to his channel. He's doing great stuff over there. He just had a great show with the Zod writer recently that I highly recommend you guys check out. But for $5, he says, fine, I'll do what you said and drop a super chat. So it's Paz's kid. Did he have sex with his helmet on? Because I just talked about Zod, I think I'm going to say it in this way. Probably.
Yeah.
I already know which super chat he's going to
Yep, I know which one you're going to do too, Corey, and have fun with it.
Yay.
Like a panther. Yes.
Like a panther.
Yeah. Well, actually, who is the mum? Who is the mum of that kid?
The armorer.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
I mean, who knows?
But she doesn't seem to have any interaction with the kid. So yeah, but I did think the armorer as well, because obviously Paz was with her when the Mandalorian had that fight with him with the Darksaber. Bit of it makes sense.
Interesting.
But she could be no one. She could be dead already. We don't know.
Yeah, certainly. Super Bro Corey, your thoughts about the whole sequence of the Mandalorians trying to take this creature down, and your thoughts about Orc and Bean's comment of the difference between Din Djarin and Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan is the true leader here. She's right from the get-go. You could tell that she's just smarter than all the other Mandalorians. They were like, Din was quick to draw the weapon and shoot, and he's like, no, you might hit my son. And then they all just go flying at this huge beast that's clearly, I don't know if these Mandalores have ever played, Battlefront or any of the games, but you do not get that much gas in those jetpacks. So I knew right from the get-go, there's no way that they're going to be able to get it. So it felt great when I saw them all come crashing down because they didn't have any more damn fuel. It was like, man, I know that I knew that feeling. I was like, damn it. This happens to me all the time in the games. This is why I don't pick the jetpack people, because I'm just and constantly straight back down again. It's
you gotta upgrade, Corey. You gotta upgrade it.
No,
over time.
That feature is such a bogus feature. That said, though, so when Bo-Katan was flying at the thing, tracking it with her ship, I was like, oh, she's smarter than everybody. She's going to find them. So clearly she is the one true leader of the Mandalorians and the Mandalore way. So the fact that she got to sit by the fire, the fact that she led the campaign, the fact that she's like, oh yeah, this is a thing that we're going to climb. We'll be fine. Don't worry. I've done this all the time. It's not nearly as tall as I've done it. Just proves more and more that in the end, you'll see Bo-Katan riding a mythosaur, wielding the Darksaber, leading the Mandalorians.
The battle between her and Grogu. That's what they're really.
And we know who wins that fight.
Bro, Grogu, no. Grogu, there's no way Grogu is going to be that person for y'all. It's not.
Perhaps Grogu helps Bo, control the beast a little bit. Perhaps it's Bo-Katan with Grogu helping on her shoulder, kind of thing.
Grogu betrays Din. Is that what you're saying?
The only way Grogu's riding a mythosaur is if Bo-Katan has that little creature on her shoulders as they're flying through. That's the only way.
This isn't part of my prediction, but it's been Grogu, and he's going to have Din's head attached to his hip after he sliced her down.
Oh yeah, I do like something that Retro Nerd Girl said here, which was because of the difference between Bo and Din is why they make a great team together. They need to work together this time, or else they will become truly extinct. This is where I think they're getting at with the Mandalorians. I think there is going to be initial conflict at some point between Din and Bo. Of who is going to lead Mandalore. But I think in the end, those two are going to have to come together, which I kind of reference in a bit that I believed there was kind of a connection relationship wise between them, where she really started to respect him and kind of be inspired by his belief and his faith in the creed. And I feel like at some point that could happen. I think she's still kind of working for herself here and kind of being selfish, but I think in the end, the end goal to unite, all the factions of Mandalore, it's gonna be up to those two, especially to get that job done. Great comment, Retro Nerd Girl. Now I gotta say, one of my favorite scenes was they finally are able to take down this creature, and it hits the water, and in a very Jurassic World like way, we see this mythosaur, that sea turtle croc thing, come out and swallow the freaking thing. To me, that was just like, I know what you did there. I know where you took that from, and I'm here all for it, and I love it.
Yeah, that was blatantly obvious, wasn't it? That it was Jurassic World, that scene.
Right? And I almost thought the same. It's so funny because I think my wife actually said it when she was watching the scene and it hit the water. And I think she's like, oh, it'd be really cool if that croc did. And all of a sudden it came out. She was like, oh, shit. So it was almost like Carl Weathers kind of said, I know what people are expecting here. I'm going to do it. Corey, go ahead and go to the next slide, please. Okay, so obviously our rescue group gets back with the child saved. Din Djarin and Bo-Katan have earned the respect from the Creed, the Children of the Watch, especially from Paz Vizsla, who have saved his son from obviously the possibility of getting eaten by a bunch of little hatchling creatures. But Bo-Katan comes bearing gifts. She says, hey, I brought you the 3 bird creatures that we can teach them the Mandalorian way, and we are going to be able to ride them now. Which I think that could be very cool. And I do like that the armorer says to Bo-Katan, like, you have done the greatest honor you can do under the Creed, which is rescue a foundling. And just kind of like bringing her further into this, to this whole faction, and her like really being a part of them now. Orc, I see you kind of. It looks like you have some thoughts, like you want to get into something.
How did they fit those things in the ship?
Don't ask questions you don't want the answers to.
I want the answer to it. Someone answer me, damn it! How did they all fit in that ship?
They shrunk them and then they enlarged them again. It's kind of like what they do with like chickens nowadays. They put some steroid. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I don't know. Who knows? I did wonder that too. I was kind of like, especially were they able to get back so simply without those creatures like trying to eat them nonstop? But I guess that big piece of steak.
Down the rocks with it.
Great question. I wonder if they were. Well, actually, yeah. I don't know. Well, these are the types of questions we don't ask. Maybe they just brought up the ship and like lured them on.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. Who knows?
But yeah, we're definitely in for those dragon things getting older and being used as weapons in some kind of big dramatic fight battle to the end.
It could be used how they capture the Mythosaur at some point. They use those to kind of net them,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
The riding dragons thing, that's definitely going to be like sort of the eagles in Lord of the Rings turning up moment.
Yeah.
It's the Mandalorians,
The Mandalorians are coming.
It's the Mandalorians.
Now, obviously, in the battle of like trying to take down the mama bird creature, Bo-Katan lost one of her armor pieces, and the armorer notices this and tells her like, "Hey, come with me, and we'll get you a new one." And this is where clearly they're setting up the conflict a bit, and even the conflict within Bo-Katan, because she sees obviously the giant Mythosaur statue that the armorer has in her, her forging area, and she kind of starts asking the questions like, "Hey, do they exist? Are they real?" And she kind of like, you could tell she like doesn't want to quite lead on that like, of what she's seen, and she finally says it like, "I've seen one," and the armorer kind of takes it as many Mandalorians have seen this in a vision, and it's supposed to bring you good luck. So she's kind of not really acknowledging that.
I thought that was really weird that she kind of sort of brushed it off as nothing, thinking, well, you couldn't have, because that's like the prophecy of the one, and you're not the one. But maybe
I took it the other way. I think she believes her.
Debate. Let's go. Orc and beans.
I think she believes her, because they say a lot like Mandalorians do not speak without certainty, and so her thought is, if Bo's telling me that she saw this Mythosaur, then she saw this Mythosaur. And the armor has always been kind of like aloof and hasn't very been straight, and always talks kind of like in a riddle, and is very proper and in the way and stuff like that. And so I think like maybe she's just trying to see where this goes, but I thought the armorer believed her.
I agree.
I wasn't sure either way whether she believed her. I just thought it was very odd that she kind of shrugged it off.
And I think that's her thing. That's her shtick, is that she's just kind of loosey-goosey with what she, she doesn't let you know the armor's true thoughts on everything. She kind of keeps everything open-minded and open-ended, and lets the person figure out You know, because I still think Bo's still contemplating, like, did I really see that? Because she's kind of asking, like, those questions of, like, are they real? You know, what happens if I see one kind of thing? And so I think the armor didn't want to give a definitive answer because she wants Bo to figure out, what does it mean if I see this? Did I really see this? She's leaving it up to Bo to determine. She's not going to make that decision for her.
And in a way, you could say the armorer is doing it on purpose because she knows Bo-Katan could be the leader that they need. And she can see that Bo-Katan is clearly conflicted. Like, she constantly says, I don't, like, this is not my way, you know? And she's like, well, did you bathe in the waters? Yes, you did. And, like, you know, she constantly is like saying, like, you're a part of us, you're a part of us. And she can tell that Bo-Katan is kind of resistant to it. And this was kind of like almost like reeling in the, you know, putting the worm on the hook and reeling her in, you know, a bit more so that, you know, oh yeah, it's a vision. If you see it, it brings you good luck. Well, no, I really did see it. And then she looks at her and says, this is the way, you know, as if to tell her, like, then, you know, if you speak with certainty, you know. And it clearly is leading to something, because I think when, Bo-Katan asked for her other sigil to be the mythosaur, which is a signal, a symbol that belongs to all Mandalorians and not just her night owl. This really kind of shows kind of the turn a bit, and she's staring down this mythosaur statue, kind of contemplating what to do next. And there's, like, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but after watching it again this morning, I noticed the armorer, when Bo-Katan is staring at the statue, you see her kind of peek on Bo-Katan as she's staring at the mythosaur statue. And I think, just like kind of Orc said, I think she's starting to pick up on Bo-Katan and maybe her ambitions. Who knows what it's going to lead to, though. But does anyone else have any thoughts about that end scene?
Bo-Katan's the leader, bro. She leads the way.
Definitely. And out of that, Katie Sackhoff, the queen of science fiction now. I mean, she's gone from Battlestar Galactica, Riddick, you know, Chronicles, the third Riddick movie. She was in that. Another Life. Now Star Wars. Who else is... she's the queen of science fiction. End of story. Yeah, I think she's doing really, really, really well, and I would not be surprised one bit if Bo-Katan got her own series after this.
Would love that.
Out of curiosity,
I would not be surprised one bit.
As
ruler of Mandalore, possibly.
Ruler of Mandalore. Does anyone, because in a way the Mandalorians have been without a leader for a very long time, and they kind of look at the armorer as the priest of this, you know, the holy one of this creed, this group. Do you think power has gotten to her head at all, or do you think she one day hopes that they will find a leader that will, you know, because it seems like with Din Djarin having the Darksaber, she hasn't exactly, like, technically by their beliefs of the Black Saber, they should follow him. They should just do whatever he says and, like, listen to his word and almost in a way worship him as if he is the king of that group, because he is Mandalore again. And instead Bo-Katan is kind of taking the lead, and it just seems the armor is still kind of like playing this game a little bit. Like, do you see that maybe she looks at herself as that she could rule?
No,
I
don't, because this has been a theme forever. There's a king, and then there's the priest, and they're kind of the prophecies. They tell, hey, this is the way. This is. But
in a lot of ways, we've kind of seen that the king or the queen doesn't exactly hold the power. It's the priest. The priest is the one truly running the show, telling the king what to do. We've seen that throughout history.
I wouldn't be surprised if this relationship between Jin and Bo is intentional, and they're going to have to fight each other for the better of Mandalore, so she gets the Darksaber. And Din could fall and die in that battle. Even though they're friends, there's no way of getting around it, kind of thing. Because they very particular about their rules. Yeah. And if Bo wants that lightsaber, she's gonna have to fight Din for it. So maybe it's that. And then they're like, "Well, I don't want to fight you." And they're like, "Well, you go."
Yeah. Organ Beans, did you have another theory that you were gonna say?
I kind of agree with Savage, and I think the reason why the armor hasn't really made a big deal about Din having the darksaber is because I don't think he's really expressed wanting to lead. And so I think she also sees what Savage sees, that eventually, for the better of Mandalore, they need to figure out who is going to lead.
They're gonna have to fight.
And they're gonna have to fight over the darksaber, and whoever comes out in the end, Grogu, will lead them.
and maybe that's how they do it. Maybe Din Djarin dies at the hand of Bo-Katan, and that's where Grogu has this revenge story to take down Bo-Katan.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happens.
Interesting. I dig it. Well, guys, that's the end of the Foundling episode. We're halfway through The Mandalorian. It's hard to believe already. There's a lot going on in the world of Mandalore, and it almost seems like 4 episodes is not going to be enough to kind of give us, especially if they're 32 minutes long, But this is where this one comes to an end. As you know, we like to rate all of our episodes out of 10. Guys, what's your scores?
I'll go first. I liked it, but it didn't get my space battle. I got a mini one. I'm gonna go 8.5.
8.5. That's not bad. Okay, Savage.
I'm gonna go for a straight 9 because love the Mandalorians. There was good action in it. And left a lot of unanswered questions, which is what I like. I don't like everything to be revealed. Keep the suspense going and all that. Mm-hmm. I really didn't like the last episode, so that made this episode even better. So, yeah.
Okay. Super Bro Corey.
This is tough because overall I liked the episode. It was fun. It was entertaining. While we didn't get our space battles per se, Cody, we did get to see them fly around the dragon, which was super sweet. So I liked that. So there was some kind of flight aeronautical combat. The redemption of Jar Jar Binks was nice to see, or the actor who played Jar Jar Binks. I wanted more from the Order 66. The Order 66 story didn't hit as hard as other Order 66 stories. If you look back, like Jedi Fallen Order, that Order 66 hits harder. Like a video game, it hit hard. Order 66 hit harder. It's because, and there's a lot of, same with Reva from Obi-Wan. Yeah, that hit harder. Why? Because freaking Anakin was the one who stabbed her. There was nothing here that really had you connected to Grogu's story. It led to a lot more questions and things like that. And I'm going to be really ticked off if we don't get more answers to Grogu's Jedi Pass and Order 66 story there. So I'm going to rate it. That could change if they follow through on things. Otherwise, it's going to be a missed opportunity. I'm going to give it an 8.7.
8.7? Well,
yep. It's easily a 9+, but it needs to. I need to know more about Grogu's Jedi story and Grogu's Order 66 story, bro.
I would agree with you, Corey, that I felt the Order 66 scene was a bit rushed. I would have liked to see maybe from the beginning of the siege on the Jedi Temple to him getting out of it.
It's not like they were running out of time for the episode, bro.
Yeah, and that's where I would agree. I can't. Beyond the Night said it was too short, and I agree. I think it was too short, where they could have really fleshed out some scenes. And I'm okay with leaving questions because this is a TV show, right? They're not going to answer everything for us until honestly the last two probably, and they'll probably leave some questions for us to, get into the next season. I think I'm going to say there were some great things I love, though. Like you said, I love the animatronics versus the CGI. I love this conflicts that we're seeing with Bo-Katan, and her belief with the Creed and the Mythosaurs. They're setting up some great things here that I think this episode score could improve for me once I see how they kind of resolute the, questions that we have. I think I'm going to say 8.6. Yeah. 8.6 for me. Corey, what's the chat saying?
Yeah, so kind of taking a look at the chat, Batman's thoughts says surreal moms will end up with a dark lightsaber. Probably more factual than Grogu ending up with it. 8.4 from Oracle's Clock Tower. 8.7 from Joker's Wild. 8.3245731 from Batman's thoughts. 8.1 from Beyond the Night. Too short. 8.3 from The Butler. 8.7 from Bat Fanatic. 8.5 out of 10 from #Restore the Snyderverse guy. I need to change my score. Wonder Wife Sarah 8.7. Red Hooded Outlaw 8.8. And 8.66. I agree with Batman Who Laughs. 8.66 is my score.
You're dropping it down 0.04.
I'm dropping down 0.04. That's the way. 8.66 is what this was actually. That's the best score I've seen. Trevor H with an 8.7. And Retro Nerd Girl gives it a 9, saying, but the series is floundering for me. I need more story structure and real conflict.
I agree. And also, I forgot to mention something really odd about that Order 66 scene was when the Naboo ship was escaping, they sent 2 ships after it. I mean, this is the extermination of the Jedi. Surely, wouldn't there be TIE fighters and everything everywhere?
There should have been.
Why was there 2 ships chasing after it? It should have been like 30.
Mm-hmm.
This is like the end of the Jedi. Why was there 2 ships? I thought that was odd.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were some interesting choices, and I agree with Retro that the story structure definitely needs to needs to find a purpose.
It does
because it's changed multiple times. Like when you think about it, Mandalorian's Din Djarin's first mission was to get parts so that he could fix his old droid, and now that's kind of seems like it's no longer and then it became I need to bathe in the waters, and it just seems like now we're stuck here where we're just hanging out, and to set up pirates and the political scenery that's going on in Coruscant. There's just a lot of stories going on, but there doesn't seem like to be a clear direction of the main story that we're following.
That's the best way. It is clear direction.
Yeah,
because I really think that episode on Coruscant. Is it the last one?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I personally think that was a mistake, and they should have just stuck to the Mandalorian story.
There's a possibility that you're right, Savage. While I liked that little portion there, if they don't come back to it, because there's only 4 more episodes left, people. We're running out of time, and if we end up having another 32-minute episode in there, I think what's the average length of the episode so far? I'm gonna look that up real quick.
I think because the last episode was almost an hour, and the first episode was 37 minutes. Honestly, they probably have been averaging right about 45 minutes, which is a typical TV show for the most part. But yeah, I don't know. Otherwise, I think it's still been a fairly solid show. There's a lot of things that are kind of we're waiting to see. Have some resolution to, but I'm still digging it. I'm still interested. Was this an episode that I'm going to remember later? which is why I kind of gave it a lower score, but than normal. But I still dig it. Now, guys, as always, I like to roll out the red carpet for my peeps, my Delta Squad, the Republic Commandos, Orc and Beans. What you got going on over on Twitch, good sir?
Yeah, I'm streaming on Twitch. I will stream later tonight, probably in 4 hours or so. I'm going to stream some WWE 2K My Rise, Orc and Beans, aka James the Savage Cody is taking over WWE.
James the Savage Cody.
Yes, James the Savage Cody. It was the coolest one. And I was like, it was the coolest nickname I could pick. And then also I was like, well, and I stream with Savage, so
you paying Savage some royalty rights for that?
Maybe.
Yeah, copyright, motherfucker.
So yeah, I'm over there streaming. I got a YouTube series that's gonna start coming on. I'm gonna do a bunch of filming for that tomorrow, and then you can follow me on Twitter, and I have an Instagram that I don't post on, but it's there. Something I don't talk enough about. I have a Discord as well that you can find the link on my Twitter page or my Twitch page. We have 24 members in there already.
Nice.
Which is pretty cool. There's a creator chat, so if you're a creator and you want to post like your videos and stuff in there, go for it. And then I'm not gonna say much about it, but I'm in the works of something. We've talked a little bit about it as a group, and so in the next couple of weeks, we're gonna post some stuff about it.
Oh yes, yep. Now I know what you're talking about. I was like, wait, where is he going for this? Like, yes,
we've talked about stuff.
I am very excited for once we when we break that down and get it all detailed out. And
we'll probably make somewhat of an announcement in like 3 weeks or so, because I'm gone the next 2 weeks.
We've talked about stuff.
Yeah. What's going on, man?
You're in the chat.
you responded to it. You were the first one to talk about it with him. See, Corey hasn't been paying attention during the stream. He's been paying attention during the chats. Time to find a new co-host. Order 66 on Super Bro Corey. Savage Bat, what you got going on, big fella?
Got me and Zod Writer and possibly a guest. I'm not sure yet. Tomorrow, usual time, midnight UK time, so afternoonish, evening in the United States. And we'll be doing a catch up on what's been going on in the fandom, the Zack Snyder SnyderCon thing, the Shazam 2 flopping, and Zachary Levy's, just pathetic attempts to, get people, the things that Zachary Levy's been doing was terrible. Just a Snyderverse catch up, really. And hope for the future. Oh, and sell Snyderverse to Netflix as well.
Hey.
And we'll be talking about that as well.
Shazam 2 was a flop.
Yeah.
That's like
I'll put it this way. So, Fair and I did see. What's up?
You had no credit for that?
What do you mean?
Shazam 2 was a flop. That's a weak ass movie. I liked it there.
I know where it's from.
It's a remix of WAP.
Oh, Jesus. Congrats, Corey. I saw Shazam 2 with Wonder Wife Sarah, and I will be talking about it. And
boo the bad channel.
I'm going to give a non-spoiler honest review, and then I'm going to give a spoiler where I really go in on it. But I'm going to here's how I'll preface this. I have
Trey's internet saw that we're close to 2 hours, so it's slowing him down.
Essentially, I just think I've been holding off because
Shazam was the greatest movie.
What?
Your internet keeps cutting out, Trey, and so I made a joke that your internet saw that we're close to 2 hours, so it's slowing you down.
Oh yeah, probably. Just to be quick about it though, I think it'll be one of our most controversial reviews on our channel. But we also are going to be doing John Wick Chapter 4, so that's going to be exciting. That'll come out hopefully later today, so be on the lookout for that. Sarah and I really enjoyed that one.
Oh, I don't think you part of that.
What? I already recorded of you, and you didn't see the movie.
Wow.
Jesus. Anyways, Super Bro Corey, you are fired today. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today and checking. And remember to. No, wait, Corey, you're going to finish it up. I mean, this will be your goodbye speech.
All right, everybody. Make sure you come back next weekend. That would be what, March?
It's April 1st. This Saturday.
April 1st. Oh, so we could be saying it's an April Fool's Day. So yes, join us April Fool's Day for another follow-up review of episode 5 of The Mandalorian. March 29th is the movie. The show April 1st is the review. Make sure you follow everybody on the Delta Squad forming up. Make sure you hit that like, share, subscribe, and notification bell so you never miss an episode. I am your host, Corey of the Bat Channel, and above is
Trey, co-host of the Super Bat Channel.
And we'll do the old school points that you used to do. Remember that?
Orchid Beats 14.
And that guy right there is
the motherfucking Batman, Savage Bat.
And don't forget to tune in weekly.
Same bat time.
I didn't hear that, Trey. Yeah, yell it, buddy.
Same Bat Channel.
Same bat time.
Hey, it's people.
All right, have a good night.